business community, startup community in the Rio Grande Valley to either scale their business, grow their business, or launch their business. So we do everything in the pipeline from ideation to incubation to entrepreneurship development, acceleration, funding and launch. And in between, we work really closely with companies or ventures or entrepreneurs that are looking to utilize different methodologies or processes to better service their needs in their business. And that's what we're here for. We're here to talk about technologies, potential technologies or existing technologies that have been beneficial to small business. I was supposed to introduce our panel, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves because we wanted to make it more intentional. So I will start with Mr. David Garcia. He is the owner of Sorbet Media, which is a business that specializes in marketing and publicity using technology. So David, you want to say a little bit about yourself?
Hello.
Hello everyone, my name is Diego Garcia. I'm the owner of Sorbet Media. I have a marketing agency here in South Texas. So what we do, we focus on everything regarding technology-wise, automations, social media, video commercials, and photography. And sorry.
Hi, my name is Jesus Bocorques. I'm in behalf of my wife, Pamela Jacinto. We are the owners of Raw Chocolate. We started our business in 2016. We currently opened our first coffee pastry shop and 1 year ago in Brownsville, Texas. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how do we use technology into our business, and not only on computers, but as well a little bit on machine and equipment.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Susie Hilliard. I work for the Texas Department of Information Resources. I am the Deputy Chief Information Security Officer for the state of Texas. And I'm here to help provide guidance and some information around cybersecurity practices and that sort of thing as you start incorporating more IT into your business.
Thank you and welcome. Thank you so much for doing this and for providing your knowledge and your expertise to our small business community, especially to our women-owned businesses that are present here today. So we're going to start, and they might ask you some questions as they want to learn a little bit more about you, and we'll open the floor to Q&A later on. But one of the questions that I think is in everybody's mind, and one of the things that are now being very popular among small businesses is, we understand that social media plays a very integral part of publicity and marketing in today's way of operating your business. Is there other platforms, David, and this is mostly for you, other platforms available out there that small businesses can take advantage of as they continue to use social media for marketing and publicity?
yes, so social media is just one area of marketing. You can call it digital marketing. So digital marketing is different aspects. Social media is one. You have email, you have text messaging. That's very important. I feel email and text messaging is something that we're not using too much. And it's something that we can do so we can retarget those customers, resend them information, maybe some specials and things like that. So emails and text messaging, there's platforms out there that you can pay for that can help you automate all your emails and your text messaging. So you have such as Twilio, Mailgun. You also have the other one is what's it called? Mailchimp. And those platforms where it helps you is automate those emails, and text messaging will be with Twilio. There's other companies out there it depends with your goals and how big is the business. But those are one of the platforms. You also have inside the Meta platform, which is social media, there's also tools that you can schedule all your posts and everything. So pretty much everything out there you can use so you can operate your business, either a customer relationship management software, which manages all your leads, right, customers, and having that platform with the social media, with the email, text messaging, you can cover different areas of how you can communicate with your prospects, right, or your customers. So it's very important to not only focus on if you either do text messaging or email, also focus on of having all the sections of digital marketing in your business.
So David, do you think that websites continue to play an important role in a small business as they promote or market their products and services, or is now kind of shifting into just utilizing social media?
Yes, I get that question a lot because when I talk with business owners, they told me that websites is something that it's already old school, and then we have the social media that we can communicate with our customers, but websites are still very important for your business, and it's something that I feel that's the first thing you have to do when you're going to start with your business, because you want to have that presence, right? So having a website gives you that presence, that it gives you credibility, confidence with other people that want to do business with you. So I feel putting emphasis on the website will be the first thing to do, and that will help you in different areas. When people are searching for your business, website is something that's going to help you, and it's one of the areas you're familiar is SEO, which is search engine optimization. Having a website will help you rank your business when people searching your business, either by Google, Yahoo, Bing, other platforms that are search engines. So that's something very important that you can start with, and then from there you can use the social media to your advantage so it can help you rank your business.
Go ahead, Susie.
Yeah, I'd like to add just a little bit to that. As a consumer, from a consumer standpoint, the more you keep your website updated and user-friendly, as opposed to just completely simple and having the minimum basics, that really helps the customer get a feel for who you are, and really helps them to determine if they want to do business with you or not. So making sure that you have a good, not just a website, but a good website that is easy for users, for your customers to use and consume is very, very helpful.
Thank you. Jesus, how do you utilize? I mean, what do you rely more on? Do you rely more on your social media platforms, or do you rely more as a small business owner and upcoming, what are some of those marketing tools that you utilize technology for that have been beneficial to your business?
I guess the most effective is, of course, it's going to be social media for us. It's a way for us to put out information to customers, is to put out discounts, to put out sales, to keep the buyer updated with what are you making, how are you making. It's not the product itself sometimes, it's the process of the product. So it's a way for us to actually this is how we make it, and this is the final result. Social media, like I said, is the first point of communication for us with the customers. And we have our website. Our website is mainly to a general idea of what we have, the menu and stuff like that. We have some orders through Etsy. It's kind of like eBay, more kind of like handmade items. It's really friendly to use. I started doing that as well a couple of years ago, and it's really good. Why? Because at the end of the day, you get reviews, and a lot of customers purchase items based on reviews. So if you have a great product, put it on a kind of like a marketing, like a buyer, kind of like eBay or Etsy, Amazon if you can. And once you start getting your customer reviews, it's going to be a lot easier to convince a new customers. Why? Because at the end of the day, they don't know you, and they're going to go based on reviews. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, what Jesus was saying on the reviews, that's very important. I have found businesses that have a very good product or service, but they have people just, you cannot make everyone happy, right? So they put a bad comment there, and then just because of that bad comment, it's affecting your business. So what you want is to always have that customer service, and also engage with your customers so they can give you a review, and maybe you can exchange, right, for a review. Maybe for the next visit, you can give something a discount or something that can be like an exchange of value, right? And I feel that the reviews are very important. And one of the social medias platforms they can use, it just depends your industry, what you focus on. You have to do the research, right, before you're gonna start with your marketing. Make sure you do a market research, know who your audience is, and then what are the ages of your audience, what they like, what they don't like, and then from there focus on the platforms that you know that's how you're gonna communicate with your customers, right? In this case, like Jesus, he uses Instagram, and that's the way he communicates with his customers, by Instagram. He probably uses other platforms, but he's seeing more traffic on the Instagram side because it's more aesthetic, you can show your product, there's different things that you can do. So in that case, that's how he communicates. But it doesn't mean that that's a platform you can use to communicate yourself, right? You just need to find what social media platform is tailored, more connected to your business, and then from there you can create, you can start with the strategy, and then you start doing the content, right? What type of content you're gonna do? The photography, you're going to do videos, are you going to educate? Are you going to do videos educating about the service that you provide or the product? So that's how you're going to use that social media to your advantage. It's completely free, you don't have to pay anything whatsoever, it's just your time, right? Your time and learning how to do the content, hiring people to do that content for you as well, or managing your social media platforms that you have time. There's a lot of things you can do. But that's a really good way that you can communicate your business by social media. Right now, it's growing a lot. There's a lot of people on social media in different areas. So I feel it's a good thing that if you're not doing it right now, that's something that you can look for. If I have a question for you. Do you guys, the business owners, are you already using some sort of social media for your business?
So can you raise your hand? I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone. Great.
What type of businesses do you have? Can someone? Restaurant. Awesome. So what do you use?
Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Nice. So you do like video content a lot?
Yeah.
How's it going in your business?
It's really what helped us in the beginning.
Nice.
That's how we really started.
Great.
That's good. Another one? Another business?
Real estate.
Real estate. What platforms do you use?
I focus on Facebook, but I have Instagram and Snapchat.
Okay, nice. So
Which
you,
has been the one that has had more traction for you?
For my audience, Facebook, because they're more on the selling here on the island.
Correct.
We focus more of like folks that are retired.
Okay,
So they're more on Facebook.
great.
I think a good one would be OfferUp, another social media site that's having a lot of traffic right now.
Offer?
It's OfferUp. It's an application, it's not just Facebook, Instagram, and your normal social media. So this is an application called OfferUp, and you can use a lot of retail, do a lot of advertising on there. Something like Craigslist, but a lot easier, a lot more useful. And the traffic is growing a lot through that application.
Great, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Let me shift it a little bit and see.
OfferUp.
And we can get your information so you can share that with the entire group. As we talk about, the social media platforms, the website, how much do we have to worry about cyber, Susie? I mean, where does that take us in terms of security, safety, protecting not just our brand, but, our business and our livelihood?
Right, so when you're leveraging IT in your business, you're really looking at two different sides of it, right? You're looking at your front end side, your marketing, how you put your face out to the world. But then there's also the underside, how you actually run your business, how you leverage that technology to run your business. And you not only have, depending on whether you're working from your home and you have a home network, or you're starting and you have a location and a business site, and you're actually starting with to set up an IT infrastructure, you want to make sure that you are leveraging best practices and really educating, if you have employees, educating your employees on making sure that they're paying attention to what they're getting in as well. We've seen a lot more cyber attacks on small businesses specifically because they're easy targets. One of the most common things that we say is, there are a bunch of houses in the neighborhood, if all the houses have fences around them, have signs that say we have guard dogs and have lights on and cameras, and then there's one that doesn't, which one are they gonna go into, right? They're gonna go into that one. And it's not necessarily super expensive things that you have to do in order to maintain that vigilance. In fact, Texas A&M Engineering Extension, we refer to them as TEEX, they offer a free class on cybersecurity, protecting your home and small business network. And it's a free class. What I will do is I will send the link to that class to Christina so that she can send out to all the attendees afterwards, so that you guys have that. But it goes over best practices and minimum things that you guys can do and enact in your businesses and home networks to protect yourself from those attacks.
What do you think small businesses, I'm sorry, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I wanted to add something else.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. So what do you think are some of the, if our small business community feels like they have been hacked, or somebody has entered illegally entered the website and grabbed all the data, what are some of those strategies or action steps that they need to take to moderate that, or at least try to?
So I think that course will help with that a little bit. There are several federal agencies that you can report to, and forgive me, I was pulled late for this, so I wasn't able to pull a ton of resources. But specifically for small businesses, because my focus tends to be on state government and local government entities, as opposed to private sector businesses. But there are those, you can report to, the office, I think it's, Office of Consumer Credit. Let me look up some of those resources, and I'll get that information, make sure it gets disseminated out to you guys. But you can always report it to some agencies in the federal government. If you are partnering with local governments, you can let them know, and they can help you out with that as well.
I think one of the best things you can do is make multiple accounts on your social media platforms. That way, if one gets attacked, you have the other one to fall back on, and it doesn't interrupt your business for that day, and then follow whatever protocol she said to do. But I think to have multiple accounts, so you guys don't fall short that day or that week, because sometimes things like that is not even fixable. So I recommend everybody just create accounts that are going to be established, have more than one on each platform that you're in.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a bad idea.
Do you want to add something, David?
Yes. So the cybersecurity area, it's something very important, right? Regarding for marketing, websites, and not only and social media. So what I have found that right now is there's a lot of cyber attacks, and they're hacking social media accounts for businesses, and they basically losing all their followers and all the accounts that they have. And one of the areas that you can do that you can protect your social media accounts is two-factor authentication, right? Having that two-factor, even that you download the app that you can put your accounts there, not only your social media accounts, but you can have your bank accounts as well, everything on a platform that's protected, and put it two-factor. You have to do it, because if you have that two-factor, you're just putting your business in risk, right? So having that two-factor authentication will provide you that benefit of not hacking your account or your business information.
Yeah. So along with multi-factor, you brought up a great point. Multi-factor authentication is one of those simple things that you can enable. Another thing that you can do is make sure, again, like I said earlier, that your employees are trained to look out for phishing emails and not click on links. That's really, really one of the it's the lowest hanging fruit, right? It's free to train your employees. You don't have to bring in any special classes or anything, but make sure that they know what to look for. If they are seeing emails that are like requesting urgent action or something bad is going to happen, and they'll click on a link to enter or from your IT department or your third-party contracted IT team, we need your name and your username and password on this. No, they're never going to collect that their email. Never, ever, ever. And then I think doing that, and if you are contracting with a third-party IT company, make sure that your contract is written well so that the least amount of risk is on you and the most amount, and that they are taking care of what they need to take care of. So really, if you have to have your legal rep review that contract, I would do that and have them look and make sure that those third party, especially IT contracts, are written with risk and security in mind.
Thank you. I'm gonna shift. I know a lot of us here in small businesses utilize technology mainly for publicity and marketing strategies. So there's another side to a small business that I think needs to be addressed in this panel, and that's utilizing technologies for the operational side. I mean, what kind of tech is out there that small businesses can take advantage of or utilize for in terms of the operation of the business? The equipment, the CMRs, the customer service, the payment methods. So Jesus, talk to us a little bit about what you utilize in your small business, what has worked for you, and what you think, a lot of us need to consider moving forward.
Okay. Another part of can be considered like technology is the equipment. If we, just for example, Mexico is known for its drinking chocolate, and Belgium is known for fine chocolate, and the only difference is that they use different equipment. Mexico usually is stone ground chocolate, will have more like a grainy texture, and it's only to make a drink. European chocolate, on the other hand, they use more advanced equipment to make a refined chocolate that can be used for pastries, for you can use it for any other. It can also be used for drinking chocolate as well. So what that means is like I started making a stone ground chocolate. It was really traditional method, and then I improved the equipment to make start doing a refined chocolate that can be used for many other applications in my business, right? So of course, having the equipment is not only reduce labor, but it's most likely you're gonna have a better quality of the product. It's equipment. That's one. And another part of the equipment is point of sale system. The point of sales is you wanna use the most friendly POS system, something that you can gather information. Was the item that you sold the most? Was the item that you have the more revenue? The more revenue is going to be based on recipe calculations that can be on the POS system as well. Knowing that information is going to be a lot easier what to market in your social media, right? Okay, this part is not selling. I need to market it more, or you market the one that sells the most, right? So having a good equipment and a POS system that is user-friendly, really easy to use, is going to facilitate a lot of things.
Thank you, and I think that's very important. A lot of us think about technology in small business just on that whole marketing side, but this whole area of point of sales, of customer service, of operation, of using equipment that is more user-friendly to also the employees that are part of your team that have to learn or have to come up with production quickly is important. Going back to utilizing technology overall, any of you that might want to answer this, is what are some of those best practices that each one of you can recommend our small business community moving forward, either if they have already engaged in social media or marketing or operation resources, or are new to this whole world of technology? A lot of us in the region still rely on flyers and doing the face-to-face marketing because our region still calls for it. I mean, there's a lot in the community that, in my center, we were tasked a couple of weeks ago to do sessions on like a digital series, and it was very basic, going out to rural communities for them to understand what the internet even meant. I mean, some of our communities are still on that stage that they don't even know how to get on and search something on Google or, on Yahoo, so they're still early stage, and how do we reach those customers that are not engaged in social media, that are not engaged in understanding the internet? But what are some of the best practices that you guys see as these small businesses come into play? Because even though they have serviced non-internet users, now they have to come in and also kind of, grab that audience or that customer base?
Well, I feel you have to be everywhere. I feel you have to focus on every communication channel that you can possibly work with. So it still works, traditional still works, flyers still works, newspaper, but you want to be in every single communication. So maybe you do newspaper, you do flyers, you also on social media, you also do this. So it's not only focusing in one area, but you do want to focus on different areas, right? Because we still have traditional, we still maybe see billboards, right? It's still out there, and I feel that we just need to focus on having the broad use of communication channels to your for your customers, right? And I want to add something with the system, with the PO system. So if you have a PO system, that's very important, so you can use it for your advantage for your marketing as well. Because from there you can see what product is selling the most, what's the highest traffic that you have in your business, the low traffic, and from there you can create a strategy so you can retarget those people so they can come in or see what product is the one going on and maybe do a campaign with the product or the product that you want to promote the most. So for example, in my case, I have worked with clients that I assume, right, that they're selling this specific product because of what they tell me. But once I go to the PO system, I actually see everything. And for me, it's better so I can create a campaign that can execute the marketing way better, right? By seeing the profits of the products, right? Of how the business is operating. So that's something that's important as well.
Any best practices that you can share with our small business community that you think are important for them to consider as they engage in social media or engage in a point of sale system or engage in purchasing or acquiring equipment that might be resourceful for them in automating some of their activity?
You have to be in constant communication. It's not like, oh, I feel like doing it today and the next day I don't feel like doing it. I'm sorry, but that doesn't work. You have to be constant. The information has to be related with your business as well. Don't mix it up, any personal life with your business. Business is business, okay? And put out information that is related to it, right? And sometimes I don't put about the business, about the product itself or what we're selling, but okay, I found out something that is important and information about the chocolate production, or we have chocolate awards, and then something is going on around my area. It's good to share. Why? Because you're letting know your customers that you know your area of business. Okay, it's not like making the product, but I'm aware of what's going on in my surroundings of the business itself. It's just keep in constant communication, and that will help you out a lot.
So on the marketing standpoint, one of the points that I got, that was a great point about reaching out on all platforms. However, when you're generating your resume, you don't necessarily leave it the same for every company that you're applying for, right? So you guys are all business owners. You aren't applying for anything. Anyways, but you try and change it up. So you want to send out the same message, but you want to change it to make sure it matches your audience and what your audience is going to hear, what they're going to want to hear. What you put out on Instagram is going to be way different than what you put out on a newspaper ad, right? But you want it to ultimately say the same thing, just in a different way. Regarding the operational technology and from a cybersecurity standpoint, is absorb all the knowledge you can. On texas.gov, we have a cyber corner, and that has a lot of one-sheeters that talk about protecting your home network, easy tips that you can do to protect yourself and your home network. And the more you become vigilant about protecting yourself at home and protecting your home network, the more vigilant you're going to be in your business and your workspace. So those are my two best practice offerings.
Thank you. Thank you. three of you for all that knowledge that you shared today. We were, kind of limited on time. I wish we could continue the conversation. I do want to mention that there's a lot of resources out there as well that can help you, educational or just, facilitation of resources that can actually give you the opportunity to learn more about how either set up an online shop or how to understand social media platforms, the analytics, the back end of those platforms when it comes to understanding what times are you supposed to share certain, information, who your audience is, what platforms kind of go with different age, ranges that you're trying to target. David has been instrumental with our center at UTRGV to provide that kind of knowledge and expertise in how to set up an online shop, what the Google Analytics, the Yelp and all these different platforms that really can become, your directory and even targeting customers a certain way. So take advantage of that. You can talk to them, and I think Jesus as well and Susie have really provided that additional knowledge in terms of protection and in terms of other methods of technology that we can use. We're going to open it up for Q&A. So if anybody has a question, please raise your hand, sir.
Yes, ma'am. This is great information, but I think that when you do your samples in the target area where you're going to be taking your clientele, sometimes even though we're in the 21st century, some areas don't even have internet.
Exactly.
So therefore, like David was saying, flyers in my work, you need to target your audience. And in addition to that, you need to be able to speak their language. What I mean is to be using common language that folks would understand. Because if you use an elevated language that uneducated people will use, people will grab a piece of paper and throw it in the garbage because they do not understand the message. Therefore, the communication is a key factor to, number one, select your audience, select your population, and to be able what type of resources are available. Now, it can be that the internet is available, but let's say that only 85% of the people do not have internet because of the means behind. They have to pay. And if they cannot pay to have the internet, what's the purpose? Or maybe they're old folks, retired folks, that they use just the Facebook, or whatever, So thanks for the...
Well, and one of the things that I want to point out, sometimes the end user is not the buyer. They're the influencers. So you got to also understand who is actually going to purchase or engage or look at that ad, either on social media or on a flyer, that is going to eventually purchase your product or your service. So it's important to understand who you're targeting, but also who's actually, because we can be targeting, teenagers, because you're selling sneakers that are really cool, that have little butterflies and everything. But ultimately, the mom and dad is the one that's going to buy that, only if these kids, have a lot of money. So there's that kind of sense of also understanding who you're selling to. And I totally agree with you. Like I said, we have rural communities that are still trying to engage or learn the process, or our older generation that has not engaged in social media or even on the internet. So, resources are out there to educate them as well in trying to engage, because believe it or not, they're more than willing to. They want to learn it. They want to understand it, and it's easier. It's like, my partner in crime over here, Julie Villalon, she actually teaches all our digital series. She's here, and we always talk about, after the pandemic, how everything became ridiculously convenient. Now, you cannot run a business without thinking that you have to make it ridiculously convenient for the customer. So we came back from the conference with that mentality, and even ourselves run our programs with the mentality that we have to make them ridiculously convenient. Yes, we go face to face, but we also have that virtual option. So there's different things that you can do. Any other questions? Yes?
So my question, I'm not sure if you can answer because your focus is marketing, but when you talk about technology, I'm interested in knowing, is there anything innovative out there that would help us as business owners in the area of business management? Time is money. So is there anything out there? There's all these apps now. What has worked for you all in the area of business that has accelerated or made you more productive that could be useful to us?
Yes, so in my case, I use a specific software that it's meant for agencies, for my type of business. So from there, I manage all my clients, also text messaging, email. I can help automate my clients' text messaging emails manage their websites, everything with the platform. So every business has to find the software. It's something that's recommended. I do have my own software that I use for I can manage my whole team there as well. I teach my team how to use the platform, how to do the integrations and all that. So yes, there's platforms out there. In my case, it's completely different because other industries, but there's platforms such as Toast, PO system, also what's the other one? That's
The calendar to book meetings, that you can just send your link, and then, you know, that person can just link, and then you get all your time, like scheduling. You know, it's for time management, mainly.
that's actually on Google. Actually, Google did an update that you can schedule appointments for free using the Google Gmail. So that way it's more beneficial for you. So you send the appointment, it's already connected with the time, and then you just with your cell phone you have all the appointments there.
But make sure you shop the right one, because there's a lot of apps out there. Read the reviews, mainly. The reviews and what adapts to your business. If you have a restaurant, if you have an entertainment, if you know, have a traditional, conventional business, you know, the quality of life. So make sure that you shop around and not just go for the first one that you see because it has 5 stars. You know, so, any other questions? Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining the session. I hope you got some good information out of it. Please feel free to come and talk to our panelists if you want to have additional questions or want a little bit of one-on-one. We are here to discuss.